Greetings ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. I will be your host, Tong, bringing you another role-playing build known as the Morag Tong. The Morag Tong, in a nutshell, is a role-playing build intended specifically for a niche casual playstyle, playing around, just questing around and all around normal content. It is not made for veteran content, it's not made to min-max, nor is it made for any type of difficult content, hard modes, achievements, etc, etc. Just a casual role-playing build just for funs and shits and giggles. Anyways, the Morag Tong are basically a group of assassins that are located in the Vardenfell mainland. I mean, at this point you probably know who they are, because one of the assassins you do meet in ESO would be Naryu, which is a Morag Tong. They're basically a group of assassins that worship Mephala, the lady of thread, silk, spiders and other things. Yeah. Anyways, for the character we are playing a Dark Elf. It has to be a Dark Elf, there is no alternative when it comes to the Morag Tong. You can just, I don't know, you can technically role-playing a Morag Tong, but when it comes to a role-playing build, definitely Dark Elf is a must-be, because, yeah, they're all exclusively Dark Elves, because it's Morrowind and stuff. We're also playing as a Nightblade, because Nightblades have these assassin-y types of skills, spectral blades, etc, etc. It has this red type of aura when it's used, and even in the past when we touch around the Cradle of Shadows dungeon, we can see enemies use similar type of abilities, so we're gonna stick with that thematic. We went full stamina, so we're going with the stamina build. For the Mundo Stone, I recommend the Thief Stone, however I am only 2 brain cells left, however, that's why I forgot it. Anyways, that's it. Dark Elf, Nightblade. You can play any other race. I mean, technically you can play any other race, but if you want this quote-unquote assassin-y feel, a Nightblade would be the best recommendation. For the skills, we went quite simple. We went with Killer's Blade as a execute, surprise attack for a spammable. We went Shadowy Disguise because it is a questing, build, so yeah, we want to sneak around quite a bit. If you don't want this one, you can, change it around and take something else. I don't know, you can go with maybe power extraction if you want major brutality and sorcery. If you want to mark for death, you can always go for mark target and then morph it to Reaper's Mark for major berserk or something like that. You can go with blur. Teleporting strikes is also really fun to use. Maybe Lotus Fan or Ambush really doesn't make that much of a difference for us. I mean, it does, but it's a role-playing build. I don't care. You can go with the Cripple or even Strife if you want to heal a little bit on the side, maybe summon Shades, Aspect of Terror to scare enemies away, etc, etc. For the Fault ability we're going with Relentless Focus, because we get weapon and spell damage for every light or heavy attack up to 5 times, and we also get the Spectral Bow, which deals quite a lot of damage when procced and heals us. Fifth ability is a slotted ability, Camouflaged Hunter. We have it on both bars, and while slotted it gives us major savagery and prophecy, giving us weapon and spell critical rating by X amount, and while flanking or basically attacking enemy from the back, it will give us minor berserk. For the ultimate, I went with Incapitating Strike, because why not, yeah. On both bars. You can go with the Soul Harvest if you feel it fits you a little bit more, but I like Incapitating Strike. It feels more quote-unquote rough. On the back bar, we went with Flying Blade. This is going to be our quote-unquote ambush, and it will give us major brutality and sorcery, and because I also went with the dual wielding on our back bar and front bar, we went two-handed. Yeah. Twisting Path, it is a DOT on the ground, gives us speed, and it's really nice to have. Whirlwind Blades, we want a quote-unquote execute on our back bar as well. That would be connected to one of the gear sets we're wearing. Leeching Strikes gives us health and stamina back for every light or heavy attack. Camouflaged Hunter again, and the same Incapitating Strike. You can play around with the skills, you can change it all around, like go whatever the heck you want. This is just a quote-unquote template. Let's see if you can even call it like that. For the gears, For the first set, we went with Spawn of Mephala. The only reason why I went this is because I had no idea what monster set to use, so I went this one. You can always, you know, drop a monster set and go 2 5 pieces and then 2 armor ability changing weapons, like the Master 2-handed or a Veteran 2-handed with Master dual wielding, or you can go with Black Rose dual wielding, but the Master dual wielding, no, the Black Rose dual wielding has this lychee bluish type of aura which doesn't fit the theme, so maybe the Master one for cutting people into pieces would be more appropriate. Yeah. But yeah, I went with Spawn of Mephala because I like the spider legs on the ground. We will show you in a minute how it looks. The second piece, I went with 2 pieces of Trainee, because we're gonna rock 2 5 pieces on 2 different bars. So the first set would be a Vice Cannon, which basically when you deal critical damage to an enemy while behind them, you inject a leeching poison that deals X amount of poison damage over 10% and heals you for 100% of the damage done. It's a nice, it's just nice, you know, it's just nice. And oh yeah, the reason why I'm going with a 2-hander and not a dual wielding and bow would be fashion reasons, because I technically owned the Ebony Blade, which is a artifact of Mephala, and I really wanted to use it, and I think it fits really nicely with the fashion, hence the reason why I'm going with 2-handed. For the other set, we went with something similar, Sheer Venom. When you deal damage with an execute ability, you inflict the enemy, dealing X amount of poison damage over 6 seconds and dealing up to 100% more damage. Yeah, this one heals us for the damage, this one deals more damage, and that's the reason why we're going with Whirling Blades on the dual wielding. Yeah, this one's technically a execute, so it will count to it. And we want to flank the enemy as much as we can because, you know, more damage, or basically proccing this set, plus we get minor berserk from flanking an enemy as well. Do we have alternatives? I guess we do at this point. I guess we do. We can always go with Viper's Sting. When you deal damage with a martial melee attack, you deal a X amount of poison damage over 4 seconds. This one has no quote-unquote any special criteria to proc. It's just poison damage and that's it. We can always go with Saivara's Scales. When you deal damage, you cause a burst of poison that deals X amount of damage. You can go with Night Terror. When you take melee damage, you deal poison damage. So these two could make a quote-unquote toxic build Saivara when you deal damage, and when you take damage, it's a nice combination. Maybe a Poisonous Lizard would be better for that one. Anything else? I believe there are many sets when it comes into consideration. We have crafted sets that would be from the DLC zones, and then let's go to Vardenfell. We have the Assassin set. Increase the duration of your alchemical poisons by 4 seconds. You can go with this one if you want to do that for some reason, I guess. You also have the Morag Tong set. However, that set is really not that great for a Nightblade because it boosts how do we put this? Where is it? Cyrodiil Morag Tong, here we go. When you deal critical damage, you cause the enemy to take 10% more damage from poison and disease attacks for 5 seconds. The problem with Nightblades is most, if not all, of our skills don't do poison and disease attacks. This would be perfect for a Dragon Knight, maybe Morag Tong type of, you know, playstyle. But yeah. That's why we try to go poison on the gear sets rather than as skills, just to have the feel on it. But yeah, you can play around, you can test out other gear sets, other templates. Maybe you can go Velodrift with Widowmaker, like on the Silken Ring Mephala Worshipper, or you can go, I don't know, whatever the heck you want at this point. Now, as I said, let's proc Mephala's mask. Basically, those are the spider webs with the spider yeah, lots of poison. For the CP, quite easy. Raffle strikes, fighting finesse, mastered arms, deadly aim. I believe you can also go with backstabber if you want to furtherly enhance the flanking or basically attack enemies from the back. This one will give you a 10% of critical damage done boost. However, I went with fighting finesse, and then maybe instead of deadly aim you can go with backstabber just for the little extra quote-unquote high risk, high reward. It's not even a risk, but you know, you don't get 50% of the time to go behind the enemy. But you know. With a green tree, quite simple. Mount speed, food duration, potion efficiency, and movement speed. For the red tree, health, armor, magicka per kill, stamina per kill. You can always go with a little bit of refreshing stride, maybe thrill of the hunt, or celerity instead of the magicka. Siphoning spells if you want a little bit more speed while moving. Celerity is definitely if you want more resources, or basically health or magic recovery. Or per kill you can get major expedition. This will basically act like a poor man's vicious ophidian if you go with thrill of the hunt, and instead of magic you go with this one. It will give you like speed on kill and then stamina per kill. Basically it's vicious ophidian 2.0. But yeah, and for the fashion as the last part, we went with ebony blade on the two-hander. If you don't have it, no, you know, you don't have to have it. You can just go dual wielding with a bow or whatever. You can use any type of arms pack. You can go with the Mephala arms pack. You can go with Selene arms pack, even though she's not technically Mephala related. However, Selene has these spider arms on it. You know, it goes nicely with the quote-unquote poison, I guess. You can go with I don't know, where is it? Opal Swarm Mother, if you have it. It was quite cheap a while ago, but I think the prices rose up for some reason. I don't know why, but it went up. Or you can just go with Morag Tong all the way. Two-hander, you know, if you want to go two-hander. If you want to go dual-wielding, I went with personally a red wren because I like these spiky things. But as I said, Morag Tong is just as nice and has these little special-looking blades, quote-unquote special. You can go with other types of daggers. Fashion is purely subjective, go wild with whatever the heck you want. I went with the Morag Tong on everything, a light specifically, because I like these leather pods that are shiny, which are not present when you go medium or heavy, because it's more traditional Vardenfell, if you want to go that. It still has this mark from the Morag Tong. Heavy is also on the same page, however I do like the light one the most. On everything basically I went purely light. The dice that get us this little special bronze looking shiny thing would be Motif Master Brown style. And it's basically obtained by the Rare Style Master achievement. It's a really easy achievement to get, like, it's really easy. It's really cheap as well, so yeah. For the second piece is Ashlander Grey, which covers these chitin looking pieces on the armor, and the third piece would be Dusky Bronze for some pieces on the side, which are less noticeable. It's basically this one, or some pieces on, yeah, maybe on the boats or something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.